So first you want to start off by taking 4 pieces of white felt that are all A4 sized, and you want to start making all of the parts of the bag. So first of all you want to start making the sides of the bag. So what I did was I just drew 3 lines landscape onto this piece of felt, just using a pen and a ruler, and you basically just want to make them about the same thickness as the ruler, and that should be thick enough. So you just want to draw them landscape onto the felt just using a pen. And then since I didn't have enough room to draw the 4th line, I ended up using another piece of felt for that. So I just did the same thing again. So you want to make 4 lines that are the same thickness and length. And by the way, this felt is actually like 9 times 12 centimetres. I probably said that wrong. I'm not really good with measurements, but it is pretty much the same size as an A4 piece of paper, as you can see. Except it's slightly bigger, but still it's good enough. And then next what you want to do is you want to make the bottom part of the bag. So again, you want to place the felt landscape like this. And then what you want to do is you want to take one of your full pieces of felt, or the felt that doesn't have any lines drawn on it, and you just want to place it onto the edge of this piece like this. And then you want to mark it off with your pen. And then you just want to bring it up slightly and then mark it again, but make sure that the 2 points line up. Hopefully this is making sense. And then what you want to do is you just want to draw 2 lines, or just 1 line with your ruler and your pen again. So as you can see, I just drew 1 here, but you don't really have to like draw one down here since it's literally at the edge of the felt. And then what you want to do is you just want to draw 2 triangles on both sides, so that way they connect here. So obviously you just want to place your ruler like this, and then just draw 2 lines that connect at the point. And do that for the other side as well. And then you just want to leave 2 pieces of felt the way they are. This is going to be the front and the back of the bag. So hopefully that all makes sense. And now moving on to the next step. Next what I did was I just cut out all of those pieces just using my scissors. So now you should have a piece that looks like this, and again this is for the bottom part of the bag. And then you should have 4 strips that are again the same length and the same width as well. And now the next step is you just want to place all 4 of the strips together like this. And you want to stretch them out just a little bit, so that way they're just a little bit more longer than one of the edges of the full pieces of felt. So I'll just place it here just to show you. So as you can see, I stretched it slightly so it is a little bit longer. And then next what you want to do is you want to take your ruler and your pen again, and you want to draw lines on the bottom parts of the strips like this. And it helps if you line them up, so that way then they're at the same position, if that makes sense. So you want to do it in a pattern basically. So you want to draw one going this way, one going that way, then one going this way and one going that way. So again, these are going to be the sides of the bag. And then once you've done that, next what you want to do is you want to cut off these pieces here right at the pen lines, just using your scissors again. So I'm just going to do that and I'll be right back. So once you've done that, here is what the 4 strips should look like. So when you place 2 of them together, it should make a triangle shape at the bottom. And next what you want to do is you want to glue the strips together just using some strong glue. I'm just using my all-purpose glue. So you just want to place 2 of them together and then just add a strip of glue going down here. And then just place the other one on top, slightly overlapping them, as you can see. And you want to do that for the other 2 as well, so that way then you should have 2 separate pieces. And then once you've done that, we can move on to the next step. So next what you want to do is you want to place those 2 pieces onto the bottom part of the bag and then secure it with just some more strong glue. So what I did was I just added some glue here, here and also here as well. And then you just want to place the very edge of the strips onto that area and then just press it down. So now it should look something like this. Sorry, it's quite hard to show you since it's so long. That's what it should look like so far. So now you have the edges and the bottom part of the bag ready. And next you want to glue on the 2 full-size pieces of felt to make the entire bag. So I'm just going to do that and I'll be right back. Once you've finished gluing all of the pieces together, here is what the finished bag should look like. And as you saw from the previous clips, you basically saw how I glued it all together and also what areas I applied glue to as well. So you just want to basically just try and follow like what I was doing in those previous clips. And I didn't talk in those clips because I actually had a mask on for that because the glue smelt so bad, and I just wanted to like glue it together as quickly as possible because I just couldn't stand the smell. And here is what the sides look like. and also the bottom as well. So it's quite hard to show you with one hand. But yeah, I basically made this the exact same way that I made my Burger King bag, as you can see. And again, I originally learnt how to do this from a Trim video, so I'll also link that video in the description box below. But again, they explain it in a much quicker way than this. So yeah, but you can also watch that as well if it helps you out. And as you can see, it can also stand as well, just like this one. So once you have the bag ready, we can move on to the next step. So now to make the logo on the front of the bag, so next what you want to do is you want to print out an image of the Chick-fil-A logo just onto an A4 size piece of paper. And you can easily just find an image of the logo online. And then what I did was I just placed that onto a Word document, and then I just maximised the size of it so it covers pretty much the entire page. But you want to make sure that there's still a little bit of a gap up here. And then you just want to print that out, and then what I did was I just basically just cut off all of the red parts just using a craft knife and my scissors. And this should create a stencil. And this part here is separate, but obviously you still want to keep this piece as well. So this is going to help us paint on the logo on the front using our red paint. So that's what it should look like. And then once you have this ready, we can finally move on to the next step. Next what I did was I just painted on the logo onto one side of the bag just using the stencil that I cut out, and then I also used my red fabric paint for this, and I just stamped or dabbed the paint onto the bag just using the stencil like I said, and then I also used a foam brush just to dab on the paint. And then I just used a small paintbrush just to fix up some parts of the logo, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's not completely perfect, but I think it is like close enough to the actual logo on the bag. Oh, and by the way, I was also looking at this image here as well as reference. And I'd say it's pretty much like very close to it. I'm really happy with how it turned out. So now you just want to let this side completely dry before moving on to the back or the bottom. And I'm actually thinking that I might just leave the bag like this. However, I'm not completely sure yet, so I'm just going to wait until it's dry and then I'll decide. But I know that there's usually some writing on the back as well, and usually on the bottom, but I don't really know for sure. I'm going to have to research it a bit more. So yeah, it's up to you if you want to add anything else to the bag, or you can just leave it like this. I might end up just leaving mine like with just the logo on the front. However, I'm not sure yet. So anyways, I'm just going to let this side dry and then we can move on to the next step. So once the front of the bag is completely dry, you can move on to the back of the bag. And like I said before, it is up to you if you want to add anything to the back or the sides of the bag. I originally was just going to leave it with just the logo on the front, but then as I was researching the Chick-fil-A paper bags a bit more, I realised that this is what the back of the bag looks like. So this is the image that I found on Google, and I used this as reference. So yeah, as you can see, it is way more simpler than I was expecting, so I thought I might as well just add this onto the back. So I just did that, just using my red puffy paint again. And then I also used a dotting tool just to fix up the letters a bit more. And then I also used a ruler as well, just to keep them in a straight line and make them as neat as possible. And then also painted on the Chick-fil-A logo at the bottom using this image here as reference. So yeah, it didn't turn out completely neat, but still I'm really happy with it. It's not easy painting on such tiny letters, especially onto felt, but still I think I was able to do a pretty good job. So yeah, like the back design was a lot more simpler than I thought. I thought it was going to have like a more complicated design, but it turns out this is all I had to do for the back. And I don't think there's any designs that are on the sides of the bag, but if there is designs on the sides, then you can add them onto here if you want to. But I think I'm just going to leave the bag like this now. Also, like the image here that I used as reference, again it has another sentence here that's written with pen, but I decided not to add that to mine. But again, you can add on some extra things if you want to. So yeah, I think I was able to do a pretty good job with the writing. So now you just want to let this side completely dry, and then your bag will be done. So once all sides of the bag are completely dry, here is what the final bag should look like. And also just a couple more like small details. As you can see, I just cut out a small semicircle shape at the very top of the bag, just on this side, because I noticed in most of the pictures that the bags usually have an indent at the top, or a part that's torn off or cut out. So I just did that with my scissors, just in the centre. And also, just another small detail which isn't really that important, I also noticed that in some of the words here, I did write the letter A slightly differently compared to the one here. So yeah, I just wrote the letter A slightly differently, just because this is the way that I prefer to write the letter A. So yeah, not that interesting, but yeah. I'm really happy with how the bag turned out, and it can stand up as well. I'm really proud of how the logo came out on the front. Again, it's not exactly like it, but it is very, very close to it. I hope this was all easy enough to understand. I did try my very best to explain all of it. And again, the bag I just pretty much made that the same way as my Burger King bag, and also my McDonald's bag as well. So yeah, this is going to be like another little series, because obviously in the next bit I'm going to start making squishies to go inside the bag. I want to make like an entire set, just like I did with my Burger King squishies. I'm going to have to do a bit more research though, because I don't know what exactly I want to make yet. But please stay tuned for part 2 and you will find out. So yep, I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and please stay tuned for part 2, which should hopefully be coming up, I don't know, maybe in like a few days or a week or so. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.